Hi there, hope you're doing good, and welcome to GK Pro's 50-day spoken English course on YouTube that's absolutely free. So, let us start the session today by knowing what we are doing. All right, so today is day 12. Great. Now, so in this day 12, I would want to tell you that we are going to be dealing with expressing opinions, as opinions are pretty much personal and very important, okay? And reasons in English, okay? On day 11th, you learned how to describe a festival or event, what happened, what you did, and how you felt, correct? That is what I dealt with in the last lesson or the last, this last session. Now we take the next step. All right. We are going to learn how to add your thoughts, your opinions, and your feelings to whatever you have learned already on day 12. This is very important because real English is not only about events, it is about adding your thoughts, your reasons, and your feelings in the same sentence. Also, to let you know, by the end of this session, that is day 12, you will be able to express your opinions clearly, okay? Give simple reasons, connect past events with present feelings, and speak for 30 seconds continuously. That is obviously with a lot of practice. Great. Now let's look at the first section for today. Let's start with something easy and personal. I would want to ask you a personal question, that is, what is your favorite festival? And also to add, do you celebrate it with your family or friends? Kindly pause the video here, all right, and answer this question to yourself just to analyze what exactly you feel about festivals, all right? Now, you do not need to give a full sentence in a form of an answer. Even one word is okay. Now, if your answers sound something like Diwali or I like Eid, or if a single word like Christmas. Here, I do not want you to correct your grammar, or I do not want you to think that my sentences are too short. It is just to start your conversation. Now, just to keep in mind, we at GK Pro encourage speaking continuously, and also when I started the sessions at day one, I also kind of spoke about a word or a very important parameter known as fluency, and that is what we are looking at in our sessions here. Right. Now, I'll ask you a second question, that is, why do you like it? Okay, why do you like this particular festival that you kind of told that you like at the first place? Even one word answers are okay at this stage as well. For example, family, okay, fun, food, happy, or any of the words other than this have come up when you kind of wanted to answer this question that I just asked, that is, why do you like it, is still okay. Now, why do you think I'm kind of, trying to tell you that even one word answers are okay? Because now I'm going to talk to you about something very important to every person living is an opinion. Okay. Now, let's move on to part two, where our opinions matter and how exactly are we kind of going to, entertain those opinions in the sentences that we are trying to make. Right. An opinion is what you think or feel. I hope you agree with me, correct? The goal over here is to get your foundation ready when you are speaking those sentences. Now, when an opinion comes in, there are certain four core opinion phrases as you can see on the screen, and that is I think, obviously, is an opinion, I feel, all right, Great. The next is, in my opinion. This is pretty much a direct phrase when I'm talking about your opinions. It is definitely a phrase that you can also use when you are giving interviews, or when you're also kind of giving your thought processes to a person who is asking you a certain type of question. All right? Great. The next one is pretty new to me as well. That is for me. You can also start an answer when someone asks you an opinion. You can answer just by simply using for me. Okay, now that also is a kind of phrase that will help you to express your opinions clearly. Let's look at a model answer. All right, I think Diwali is special. All right, for me, as I just told you, for me can be used. For me, festivals are important. Very nice. Okay. I feel happy during festivals. Great. Another addition to the phrases. So, when I kind of share any of these strategies with you, I would just want you to pause and also kind of read it aloud at the time you're looking at the screen. That also is in the form of, practice. I always kind of reinforce this in my sessions, that practice is what makes you perfect. Please go ahead and pause the videos and try to practice along with me. All right, great. Moving on ahead, this is again a section where I would want you to pause, also known as the guided practice sessions. All of my lessons have these, all right? The ones who, people who have already seen my sessions understand it by now, that what I mean by guided practice, because here I would want you to pause the video and complete these sentences on your own. Okay, now that's something that you need to do it all by yourself. Great. Let's move on to section number three, or part three over here, giving reasons. Now, an opinion, according to me, becomes stronger when you add a reason. Now, if I say, I think, what do I think? That is pretty important, because you're going to give a reason after what you think. Okay, that is very, very important, even during introductions, or even during kind of going on to certain interviews, wherein people ask you, or the interviewer asks you something. Giving opinion is okay. In my opinion, or for me, or I feel, all these are wherein you're giving opinions. But what after that? Please go ahead and keep this in your mind when I say giving reasons is an important and a very important part of introductions and cracking those interviews. Okay, great. Now, as I wanted to kind of also tell you that already I have told you that opinion is stronger when you add a reason, correct? Now, what is the process of adding a reason? Okay, there is a process. Please listen carefully. That is, you use, I have just got two of the connectors here. Connectors are special cohesive devices. Okay, please don't get scared when I use these words known as cohesive devices. Cohesive devices are nothing but they are your connectors. That is, for example, I've just got two connectors today. I will bring you another session wherein I'll just kind of give you all the connectors that you can use in order to sound fluent. All right. For today, I've got the first connector, that is because. Okay, this gives the reason. So, now when you use so, it gives the result. Please keep that in mind. When you use because, it gives you the reason. Something has happened because of something. Okay. Now, when you use so, it gives you a result. All right. So that is what is the importance of connectors. Let us just dig deeper into this and look at a model answer step by step. Now there's a weak response. All right, as you can see on the screen, if I have just crossed it out, weak in the sense, if I if someone comes and asks me, Which festival of yours is favorite?" If I just say I like Diwali, it kind of sounds really weak, guys. That's not the way you answer. Okay, you pretty much have to sound strong. So you can actually see on the screen, all right? You can also read it along with me if you like. That is, I like Diwali. Now, because, as I told you here, also again, kind of reinforcing that it gives reason. Because clearly gives reason, right? Okay, so I like Diwali because I spent time with my family, obviously. Now let's take an example for our second connector, that is so you can look at the screen. Okay, look at the screen. That is, I was tired. So now this is a result. Let me just square it for you. My cursor is not working today. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, trying to make a square. Great. I couldn't, so that's okay. All right. I was tired, so I stayed at home. No, now, if I say so I stayed at home, it means it's the result. So always remember, when you're using so, your second sentence should be the resultant of your first phrase. That is, I was tired. What is the result? What is the result? So I stayed at home. The result is that you ended up staying at home. Now, that is the importance of using because and so. So, till now, guys, because and so were these common words. But in English, we need to know the importance of these words. Now, that is what we are trying to do at GK Pro. Please tune into our sessions, and this 50-day spoken English course is absolutely free. Uh, Look at it at your leisure, at your home, on your mobile, and try to relate with the concepts that I'm sharing with you. Thank you so much. So let's move on. Now, again, another guided section here, that is the guided practice session. Okay, section, that is, now, I have the sentence, I like dash because, again, is a connector dash. You just have to go ahead and, fill in those sentences. Pause the video and please do this when I say, guys, because I always reinforce that this is what is going to help you in the long run. You just need to practice, and practice is what shows you the right way to enhance your fluency in English. Okay, great. Now, the next example is the festival was fun. So now remember, because there should be a reason, after so there should be a result. Okay, I already spoke to you about this just a second ago. That is, because I spent time with my family is a reason. So why? Because this person was tired. I was tired, so I stayed at home. Result. So please go ahead and do the same here. Okay, now let's look at the section 4 for today, deals with the past event. Okay, now here what we are doing is that we are going to kind of connect yesterday's lesson. I hope if you've gone ahead and kind of looked at day 11 as a lesson, okay, under the 50-day spoken English course given by GK Pro, you will understand that there is a connection between each session that I am kind of conducting. All right, now we are a strategy prone here. I'm not kind of looking at kind of sharing grammatical rules or school grammar. We have a lot of strategies that I have, or we have, in person curated at GK Pro. Please go ahead and share the video as well. From day one, I have been trying to say that these sessions are very important because they are important strategies that I have shared from day 1 to day 12 as well. Okay, now let's look at what exactly the section 4 holds for us. Past event. All right, so yesterday you learned to talk about past events. Today you're going to add opinions and feelings. That's what we are trying to do. And what at the end of the whole concept is we are kind of looking at elaborating the whole introduction, or anything that you're trying to speak, or anything that you're trying to put forward the person who is asking you a certain question. Okay, now follow this simple order. All right, what is the order? The order is, when you speak English, do not separate grammar and feelings. You just need to connect them. Okay, that is the past event which leads to an opinion and then a feeling. Okay. Now, what do I mean by past event? Now, that actually leads to an opinion and then a feeling. We will just read the upcoming example and you will be able to kind of relate with me on a deeper context. Okay. Now, see this. Last Diwali, I'm kind of talking about the past event, all right? All right. So last Diwali, I celebrated with my family. Definitely, this is something which has happened in the past. Now, I want to kind of elaborate my answer. I'm just going to add an opinion. I think over here, as you can see, I think is a clear opinion, right? So I think what? I think it was special because our connector has stepped in here. Okay. I think it was special because everyone was together. Amazing. Now, feeling, feeling. What feeling? I felt as simple as that. I felt very happy, right? Now, this whole section here, the model example, is the flow of the formula. That's all. What happened, what I think, or the opinion, or how I felt, or the feeling. All right. I hope you are kind of relating with me, and if you kind of think that any of these sessions are beneficial, please tune in to all the lessons that I have conducted till now, and you will be able to understand, faster. All right. So let's break it down. Okay. Now, what happened? What happened is obviously past. What happened is last Diwali I celebrated with my family. What do you think? That is what you might think. I think it was special because everyone was together. Obviously, all right. Now, how do you feel or how did you feel? I felt very happy. As simple as that. It is a very simple structure, guys. You just kind of have to relate with the concept. Okay. So don't rush when you're just trying to do this or when you are trying to practice on your own. Please don't rush on the strategies that I am sharing with you. Take the time and practice. Practice alone or practice with your sibling, your mother, your father, or anyone really, and it works. Okay, great. Now, again, the guided practice section. I'm not going to waste my time here because I really have to give you two more strategies. All right. Now, here also, I would want you to do this, guys. Please go ahead and pause the video and make the sentences for yourself. You will understand it in a better sense. When I say this, I pretty much tell you that only if you pause and practice is when you're looking at enhancing your fluency in English. Okay. Now, the part 5. My recently curated method is known as the Oreo method. Definitely is not a biscuit right now. Okay. It is something that will help you to kind of easily remember how to elaborate your answers. Okay. Now, as you know, humans right now, at this particular situation, we don't have much time to wrap our head around complicated theories. So I have just kind of come up with this particular methodology wherein you can easily remember this name because obviously it's something that everyone knows. So Oreo is very easy to remember, first of all, as a structure. Now let me explain. O is for your opinion, okay? R is for your reason. E is for an example. And O again is your opinion. Altogether, it comes back again. Now, if you follow this method, that is OREO, your English sounds clear and confident, okay? And you will be pretty much able to kind of answer any kind of question any person is just randomly putting it across you, or if they want you to answer, you can definitely use the structure. And now I'm just going to give you a model example and you will be able to understand. Okay, so O is opinion, right? So let's start with the model example. I think Diwali is important. Now, that's my opinion. I have covered this part. All right. Reason. What is the reason? Why do you think Diwali is important? The reason is because it brings families together. Okay. Covered. Reason is covered, right? Now, let's look at an example. What can What example can we give when I'm talking about a festival? Now, many people might think, what can be an example in terms of a festival? It's pretty easy. It's just that you can actually pretty much talk about anything. For example, last year I met all my relatives. All right, that's also an example. You just have to add this phrase, for example, and add a sentence. All right. Now, next. Lastly, I told you opinion goes back again. So, what is that? The opinion is, so I feel it's a meaningful festival. So, that's it pretty much. Okay, not advanced English, it's just clear structure, guys. If you remember OREO, you can speak about any topic really. Okay, now this is one of my favorite methods to kind of answer any questions that people just randomly put across. So kind of go ahead and again pause and try to relate with the concept, probably talk about a festival that you know, or any festival that's favorite to you. All right, great. Let's quickly move on. Okay, the section 6 today talks about a challenge. All right, now I want you to kind of speak for 30 seconds. Obviously, there is another pause here. You obviously have to pause the video. Okay, yes, you have to pause the video here because this is a challenge. All right. Now, here comes the confidence part. When I talk about confidence part, the theory that I just shared with you, all right, the Oreo theory, you can just go ahead and talk in the terms of that strategy only. That is, please speak for 30 seconds. You can use a stopwatch, or you can start your the stop clock on your phone and probably set it to 30 seconds. Okay, choose your favorite festival. Before that, I would just want to reinforce rules, and that is no stopping, guys. Please use simple English. Do not overcomplicate things. Don't look at using complicated vocabulary. That's never going to work when you guys are practicing. All right, so any type of mistakes that you do, don't step back and stop. It's okay because we are practicing, all right? So, if you feel stuck, just repeat your idea, all right? If you feel stuck at any point of the given time, just repeat your idea. That is OREO, repeat it again, no problem. Okay, let's look at the prompt. Speak about your favorite festival using Oreo. Okay, now let me reinforce the structure again. O is for the opinion, I think. Okay, R is for the reason, that is because. I told you because is used when the sentence that is followed after because is the reason. Okay, reason. All right, then E for giving an example. Great. And lastly, so I feel is going back to the opinion. Okay, great. Now, as I told you, if you feel stuck, please repeat ideas. Stopping is worse than repeating. Okay, that is, please don't stop. You can go ahead and repeat the ideas. All right. Now, here, guys, you will realize that you can speak. Great. Now, let's quickly look at the recap for today. All right. What did we learn? We kind of learned to express opinions. All right. Then we also learned how to give reasons using because and so, right? Yes. And also we looked at how we can connect the past events with our feelings. That is, I feel, or for me, phrases like this. And lastly, I told you to just pause your video here, okay? Pause the video here wherever you can see this, the guided practice sections, and speak for 30 seconds. And that also we have covered today, right? Great. Now, your English does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be clear and honest, okay? Also, I would just want to kind of reinforce, or I would want to repeat myself, that is, if you're watching this on YouTube, this lesson is a part of a free spoken English course. Here you're building the foundation. At GK Pro Academy, We help you practice these skills step by step with guidance and structure. Now, if you want to continue learning and practicing, you can join us through the free course link in the description. Okay, guys, thank you so much again for tuning in today. Hope you have a great day ahead.